In this lesson, we'll learn how to use a plugin like Jetpack. In our last lesson, we learned how to look for and install a new plugin, but how do we actually take advantage of the new features we get when we add a new plugin? Well, there are usually two different ways to do so. Sometimes when we have a plugin, we'll have a new section that appears in our main navigation that allows us to take advantage and customize that plugin for our site. So for example, when we activated Jetpack, if you look over here on the left side, we now have a new section called Jetpack where we can take advantage of those features. If you install a plugin and you don't see anything appearing in your main navigation, you might also have to come into your plugins page and edit the settings or something like that directly on this page. But since we have that new Jetpack section, we can come up here and click on it. And we have all kinds of things we can do related to Jetpack. If you scroll through here, we have all kinds of different features. We can search for them, sort them, all kinds of things. So I'm going to come down here and click to view all the features. And we have all kinds of things now that we can easily add to our site. We can host videos. We can allow visitors to like our content. We can do all kinds of things, add custom CSS, add carousels, tiled galleries, create contact forms, just all very powerful features that we can add using Jetpack. And the one I want to take advantage of is called widget visibility. So over here on the right, we can click on this and we can get more information to see if it's something we were interested in using. And once we know this is something we'd want to take advantage of, we can just click to activate that feature. So now we have this little success message saying we have our widget visibility activated. And now I want to show you what we can do using this very helpful little feature of Jetpack. I'm going to come back here to visit our site. And on our locations and hours page, you might have remembered that we added a sidebar with some content. But what happens if we come here to something like our menu and we decide we also want a sidebar on the right side of our menu page? Well, if I come up here to edit our menu page and we change the full width template to a template with a sidebar, if I come up here and update this, I'm going to go ahead and view our page. You can see we have that same content pulling in on our menu page. But what if we went completely different content in our sidebar for our menu page and we don't want to reuse that same content that's showing on our location and hours page? Well, that's not possible with the default installation, but by adding that widget visibility, we can actually change this using Jetpack. So I'm going to come up here to our widgets screen, and now we have a new feature here on our widgets. I'm going to come down here to our sidebar right, which is what we're editing. You can see our hours in our text widget that we added, and right below here we have this new little button called visibility. If I click on this, we have the option to add conditions, so we can only show that sidebar under what conditions we set. So if we're thinking about our location and hours page, I want to show that sidebar if we have a couple different options here, but I want the page, if our page is that location and hours page. I know that's going off screen, but I'm just selecting that location and hours page from the list. And now if I save this, I can come back here to our site, and now we have the sidebar on our location and hours page, but now we have our menu page and we don't have that same information pulling in. So how cool is that we have the ability to really go through and customize this using that widget visibility. So if I wanted to add some text there, I'm just going to add this as an example. Maybe I want some text in that sidebar just on that menu page, menu sidebar. I'm just going to put so we can see what this does. If I come in here to the visibility, then I can set to show if the page is our menu page. So show if page is menu. I could save this, and now if I come back here to my site and refresh this page and can hit Control R, now we have that menu sidebar pulling in and we can customize it. And on our location and hours page, it still has its own sidebar as well, so they aren't conflicting with each other. We have a very custom look here, and we can really change and control what we want to appear where using that exact same layout without having to dive into the template and edit the layout of the templates or do some custom development or anything like that. So this is just really fantastic. So I'm going to come in here to our widgets, and I'm just going to delete that example one I added because I don't want to add a sidebar for a menu page. And I'm going to finish up by editing this page into setting it back to that full width template. I just wanted to show you how powerful that was and how we could really set conditions for the sidebar. So now we have our menu page, and now we're confident that this hours and special notice is only going to show on the correct page. So now that we've taken advantage of that feature, that widget visibility in Jetpack, in our next lesson, I want to learn how to add media to our site by adding galleries and images and our logo.